Hi, and welcome to Pet Pals. Every week we showcase animals that are looking for forever homes through the Frederick County Division of Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. I'm Linda Shea, the Division Director, and with me is our long-term volunteer, Randy Cooper. First guy we're going to take a look at is Champ. Champ came to us actually the end of September, arrived here as a stray, but we knew that he had an owner that was looking for him, and we made every effort to try to get this dog reunited with its owner. And it's taken a couple of weeks, but the owner finally decided that they didn't want Champ. So he's with us now and available for adoption. Champ is about 2 to 3 years old. He is a gorgeous pit bull mix. He's got a couple of spots of missing fur that just seem to be from running into things or scratches, just minor. He is about 62 pounds, and I look at sometimes the bully breeds that it's a little deceptive. He doesn't look to me like he's 62 pounds. He's very compact, very muscular. We have brought him up to speed on all the vaccines that he needs. He did have, we've gone ahead and dewormed him, offered him some preventatives for fleas and other treatments. We do behavior assess all of our animals, and Champ is color-coded green, meaning that he needs a little bit of work on manners. He's a little heavy-handed when you go to walk him on a leash. He pulls quite a bit. But other than that, he's a great dog. You can see he's very agreeable with people. So if you're looking for a young dog that's not a puppy, if you want to bypass the puppy stage and move right along to the young adult stage, Champ would be an excellent choice. This handsome fella is Johnny. Johnny is about 7 years old, and as true lab demeanor, even at 7, he's very puppyish. He's very active. He's very friendly, very social. He weighs about 98 pounds, so he is not small-framed by any means. We've brought him up to speed on vaccines, on deworming, preventatives. He was actually heartworm tested, Lyme or Ehrlichia anaplasma tested back in March and tested negative for all of those things. Johnny is one of those dogs that we see pretty frequently nowadays that has a microchip that we were able to trace back to an owner, but the owner has decided that they no longer want him. They had rehomed him with someone else, and just that microchip information had never been re-registered. So if you do have a pet and you choose to rehome them on your own, you want to make sure that that microchip information is registered to the new owners. But Johnny's with us now. He's got a great personality, great disposition. He is already neutered. Part of our adoption process with any animal here, dogs, cats, and bunnies, they are spayed or neutered prior to leaving here, and that's included in the adoption fee. Because Johnny is 7, he qualifies for our senior incentive discount. So instead of the $92.50 regular adoption rate, it would be $72.50. So again, this is Johnny. He is a gorgeous black lab. If you have lab experience, if you've got energy, if you've got time to spend with a very athletic type breed, then Johnny would be an excellent choice. This little guy we named Jack. He found as a stray, Pear Lane in Frederick. So often I'm sure the folks that watch Pet Pals and look us up on the internet have the same questions that we do at Animal Control. How can such a cute, adorable dog like this not have somebody looking for him? But he's been with us since October 1st, so going on a couple of weeks now. He's about 2 to 3 years old. Again, a stray from Frederick. He's a terrier mix. He is a boy. He's about 40 pounds. We have brought him up to speed on vaccines, on preventatives. And the vaccines that we offer dogs is a distemper combination as well as an intranasal Bordetella preventative. So, and Bordetella is just your kennel cough vaccine. As you can tell, he's got some energy there. He is color-coded green, but there's no other restrictions. And so many times when we are interacting with the dogs that come in, when they come in as strays, we just don't know any other information other than what we observe while they're in our possession. So we do a behavior assessment, and his behavior assessment is very reflective of what you're seeing here. He is very excited when you approach his kennel. He play bows, he barks. He's a little difficult to get hooked up to a leash, and he's difficult to walk. But other than that, the notes on here, he's very energetic and playful. and he would do best in a home that can kind of manage this energy or keep up with it or offer him some activity that's going to keep him out of trouble. A lot of times dogs that are very active can become destructive if they're not offered something productive to do. So given that, he is about 2 to 3 years old, like I said, so he's pretty much full grown. That's one of the questions that we get, how big do you think he's going to get? Well, he's about 39 pounds now, and he is a good weight, so I would say that that's as big as he's going to get. So if you're looking for a little ball of energy that is not quite young, just a young adult, Jack would be an excellent choice for your family. So this beautiful little girl is named Cotton. Cotton is about 10 years old. She is an American Bulldog mix. She was turned in, believe it or not, by owners. They'd had her since she was a puppy. So for 10 years she's had a family. And just recently the owners decided that they didn't have the time or resources, the money to be able to care for her. So she was turned into the shelter, and she is available for adoption. So sometimes folks have questions about how the shelter works, and sheltering can be fairly, very diverse and sometimes quite complicated, but we try to explain things the best we can. We don't discriminate based on an animal's age. Some old pets are they're senior in age, but they've got young personalities. If they are in good health, if they've got good personalities, there's no reason that we think of to not offer them for adoption. So even though she's 10, her birthday was July 1st, 2005. That's when she was born. We have her placed available for adoption. She's about 41 pounds. We've brought her up to speed on the vaccines that she needs. Her previous owners did have her spayed, did have her microchipped. They did provide her a rabies vaccine, which is required by law. So they were trying to do what they could for her and just got to a place where they could no longer provide the things that she needs. One thing that we do offer here at Animal Control, we do have a pet food bank. So if it is an issue of you're not able to provide food for your pet, please talk to us. We would much rather offer you that service as opposed to taking in your pets. But sometimes it's beyond just offering food for pets. But Cotton is here now. She has a great personality. A lot of times you'll hear me say that I've got, certainly as director here, my favorite pet, and this week it happens to be Cotton. So she's a great girl. She's a great size. She's very agreeable, very social with people. She's lived with children. She lived with another dog. So if you're looking for that type of dog and you're interested in a senior disposition and you want to bypass all the puppy nonsense and the juvenile dog issues, then Cotton would certainly make a great addition to your family. The last dog we're going to take a look at this week is this handsome guy. This is Briar. Briar is somewhere between 18 months and 2 years old, and he is an Australian cattle dog mix. He's got gorgeous blue eyes. He's got that ice blue look to them. He's about 54 pounds, and he was turned in. His owner moved and left him with a family member who could not take care of Briar, so that's how he ended up here. Anytime that you come to the shelter, whether you're looking at a dog, a cat, a bunny, a guinea pig, gerbil, they all have stories to them, even the strays, and they all have a history. So this fella's got a very calm demeanor. He is well socialized. He's been well taken care of thus far. He came to us already neutered, so we know that his owners attempted to do the right thing as far as making sure that he was altered, but we've brought him up to speed on the vaccines that he's needed. He has been around other dogs, cats. He knows how to sit. He's fairly well-mannered, and again, just a very calm demeanor, not very vocal. A lot of the dogs we've had on here this morning are fairly quiet. Probably Johnny might be the one exception as far as being high activity level. But this is Briar. Again, he's an Australian cattle dog mix. He's about 1.5 to 2 years old. So what I suggest is if you see a dog here that you're interested in, you want to come in and certainly meet them face to face. So we're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we come back, we're going to look at 3 adult cats and then 2 kittens that we have available for adoption.
Stay informed on the go by streaming FCG-TV on your mobile device. By visiting frederickcountymd.gov/FCG-TV on your device's web browser, you can see government meetings and events along with other county programs right in the palm of your hand.
Do you know the top risk factors for breast cancer? Number 1, being a woman. Number 2, getting older. So, if you are a woman and 40 or older, you should be screened for breast cancer. Talk to your healthcare provider today about getting screened with a clinical breast exam and mammogram. Doing this regularly is important, as early detection can save lives. For more information, contact the Frederick County Health Department's Breast and Cervical Cancer Screening Program at 301-600-3362 or visit our website at frederickcountymd.gov/cancer prevention.
Get connected, get answers. Do you need help with things like finding a job or a doctor, getting health insurance, finding affordable childcare, or securing housing? Maybe you could use some help with solving a problem or need someone to listen. 211 Maryland can assist you with these and many other issues. 211 offers free and confidential information and referral services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and has access to 150 languages for non-English speakers. Learn more by visiting www.211md.org.
Can't get enough Zumba in your life? Sign up for any of our Zumba classes held at all of our rec centers throughout the county, including our new Boundary Community Building and our new To The Point Dance Studio in Point Rocks. Come on, join the Zumba craze, and you'll have so much fun you'll forget you're even working out. For more details on scheduling, check out our website at recreator.com.
Welcome back to Pet Pals. Now we're going to take a look at 5 of our feline friends that are looking for adoptive families. First cat we're going to take a look at, we named Tad. Tad was found not too far from the shelter on Grant Place in Frederick City. So if you live in that area, if you're missing your senior cat, this is where he is. Tad is about 10 to 11 years old, came in as a stray. He is already neutered, so we know that at some point he did belong to somebody. We went ahead and brought him up to speed on vaccines, and that's always the challenge. As an open admission shelter, we take in animals that need us from within Frederick County perimeter just to, regardless of their health, regardless of their history. And when we take in strays, we know nothing about them other than what we find out through our interaction. But he is very agreeable, as you can see, to being handled, to being held. He's very social. We have him color-coded orange. We do SNAP test. We test all of our cats for feline leukemia and feline immunodeficiency virus, and Tad was negative on both of those. He is your basic domestic short-hair, brown tabby, has a great personality. He's a little over 13 pounds. He's got a little thinning hair coat, and he did have some parasites, so we went ahead and took care of that and treated him for those, so those are gone. But he's got a great personality, great temperament, and again, one of the joys of older pets is that their personality and temperament is established. What you see is what you get. So this is Tad, again, 10 to 11 years old, and he is looking for a new family. This little girl is only about 6 pounds. She is about 18 months to 2 years old, and we named her Frizzle. She came to us back in mid-September with a litter of kittens. So even at her young age, she's already had at least 1 litter of kittens. And sometimes when cats have kittens and they are very young themselves, they tend to not put on much weight. So I'm looking at her medical being just a little over 6 pounds. She's going to be just a petite cat in general for her entire life. She's your basic domestic short hair, Torby and white, and a lot of times we try to educate on cat colors. So most people know what a tabby is. Usually tabby has the either brown or gray stripes. Torby is sort of a brown tabby, but you can see some of the orange markings in her coat. So we've brought her up to speed on vaccines, on deworming, preventatives. We've tested her for leukemia, feline immunodeficiency virus, and she's negative on those things. Prior to leaving here, she will be spayed, and she will also be microchipped. So in the event that she gets away from her new adoptive family, we can easily return her with that permanent identification of a microchip. We spay all of our dogs, cats, and bunnies that leave here because we take in, last year we took in over 4,500 animals, and that's just from within Frederick County. So that's way too many animals, and those are certainly more animals than we were able to find homes for. So part of our contribution to the community is to make sure that all of our cats, dogs, and bunnies are spayed, neutered before they leave the shelter. But this little girl is Frizzle. If you are looking for a very sweet, young, aged, and very affectionate female cat, then Frizzle would certainly be a great addition to your family. This handsome kitty is Sal. Sal is about 1 year old. His birthday is October 6th, 2014. He's your basic domestic short-hair brown tabby, and if you're wondering how big he is, he's about 10 pounds, so he's not a light-built kitty cat. He was brought in from an owner who they got evicted from their home, so that's how Sal ended up with us. Again, we are open admission, and as many reasons as you can think of why animals get relinquished or are brought to animal shelters, we see it all. So he's the result of an eviction. He's a very sweet boy. He actually came in current on a rabies vaccine and neutered, so his owner was trying to do the right thing with the kitty as far as maintaining his health, as far as getting him neutered. We went ahead and took care of his ears. Were a little irritated when he came in. We've treated those. We did have him checked out by one of our wonderful volunteer vets that comes in a couple of times a week to make sure that our animals are as healthy as they could possibly be. We brought him up to speed on other vaccines and deworming, and looks like Sal was, I guess, with his previous owner for a couple of years. So he's had a consistent family life, but being as young as he is, seems like he would acclimate nicely to pretty much any family, especially because he's just got a very good personality. But again, this is Sal. He is, again, just a little over a year old, and he can certainly hold up his end of the conversation. This cute little guy is Paul. How can you resist this little kitten? Paul came to us back in mid-July and went into foster care. So if any of you have ever wondered how you can help the shelter, how you could volunteer, if you want to consider it, being a foster care provider. Foster care providers do a wonderful job at just providing a home for underage kittens, especially through kitten season. They come to us when they're only 2-3 weeks old sometimes, and they just need to be somewhere until they grow up and they get big enough, strong enough to be put on the adoption floor. So Paul is now about 11 weeks old, has been in foster care. Prior to leaving here, he will be neutered, he will be microchipped, and he arrived again back in July just as a stray, and it's not unusual for citizens in Frederick County to find stray animals, especially bunches of kittens during the summer and spring months. But Paul is here now, and again, as a product of foster care, a lot of times people specifically ask for animals that have been in foster care because they know how well cared for and how well socialized they are. And if you've been one of those folks that has been patiently waiting for the right time to get a kitten, or came to us when we didn't have a lot of kittens, right now we do have a lot of kittens. So if you're looking to add a kitten to your family, now is a good time to visit the shelter. The last little kitty we're going to take a look at is this gorgeous gray domestic short hair. This is Fred. Fred came to us back in early September as an underage kitten, went into foster care, and now he is back and available for adoption. He's about 13 weeks old. He's just about 4 pounds. We have been providing him preventatives through his tenure in foster care. He has been certainly well cared for, well socialized, and is now happy and healthy and looking for a forever home. Again, if those of you that have been into the shelter at times when we've not had any kittens, or if you came in early spring when we were low on kitten population, now would be a good time to visit, because we now have kittens that are arriving back fairly on a regular basis, at least weekly, from foster care. The rule of thumb for foster care kittens is that they must be 3 pounds to go under surgery for spaying and neutering, but sometimes they will arrive back in the shelter a few ounces before 3 pounds, just so we can have folks become interested and start looking for their next family addition. But this little guy, again, he's just one of many kittens right now. This is Fred. Again, a gorgeous domestic short hair. That color is very striking, and about 13 weeks of age, looking for a forever home. And that wraps it up for this week's Pet Pals. We're glad you could join us. If you've seen any animals here today that you're interested in, or you might know somebody looking for an animal like that, you want to send them into the shelter. Have a great week, and we will see you next time on Pet Pals.